Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome back for some more Forza Horizon 3. Today I'm sharing with you another car from the Hoonigan car pack, and this time it's the 1992 Mazda RX7, aka the Hoonigan Twerkstallion. So we're going to start off in the Forza Vista so I can show you this good old Mazda RX7, and then we're going to move over to plenty of free roam gameplay, and this is probably going to be one of the only videos where I review a car and don't show any racing gameplay at all, and that is because this car is just simply a drift car. That is all this thing is really good for, in my personal opinion at least. But the other thing I did want to mention is that just the different things that happen when you paint the car and different parts of the car. So you saw there that when you paint the body, obviously the whole thing becomes whatever color you make it, but if you do things like the hood or the mirrors, it actually removes the window stickers and some of the vinyls, but not kind of those really fancy vinyls that go across the whole car. So once again, that is kind of unique, just the way the customization is when it comes to painting the car, as have been most of these Hoonigan cars. But I was really excited to drive this thing, and I was honestly hoping that I would be able to race it, or that it would be a better race car. But the second that I just drove it out of the festival, I pretty much knew that it was not meant for racing at all, so I didn't even bother, and I really didn't feel like I would even have fun trying to race this thing. But there's that beautiful motor, and it is turboed. This thing makes 600 horsepower, just about 600 torque. It weighs less than 3,000 pounds. It's rear-wheel drive at the bottom of the S1 class, so all of that pretty much equals drift build, especially considering 53% of the weight is in the front of the car. But once again, this thing is listed as an extreme track toy. I do not agree with that at all, and this car, I love the 92 Mazda RX-7. I think it's a really cool looking car, but I honestly do not like the window stickers and the vinyls. I think it's just way too much, and for me that's just not my personal style. I'm sure there's plenty of people that love it, but me personally, definitely not. And I gotta say, look at the interior on this thing. The interior is absolutely beautiful, and the steering wheel looks really nice. I mean, I would love to have a steering wheel that looks like that in my car, but I don't really like the wheels either. I mean, I've never really been a fan of the deep dish. I haven't really liked any of the wheels on any of these Hoonigan cars, but the exhaust tips are pretty cool, and this car overall is just a really cool car. I'm probably going to paint it, make it a different color, but the interior, man, that looks so cool. But let's talk about the performance of this thing, and we already established that it's not very good at racing and that it's a drift car, but let's talk about why. And this is not just a drift car, this is a very good drift car. I probably have some of my best moments drifting ever in Forza Horizon 3 all packed in to this video. I mean, I was just honestly having so much fun, and this thing is just perfect for holding really, really long drifts. And like I said though, I don't think I've ever drifted this easily or this good with any other car in this game, or in any game for that matter. I mean, I just really don't drift all too much, as I've talked about before, but this thing, it can really drift. I mean, the reason that it drifts well though is because there's not too much grip. I mean, once you're in like 5th gear, obviously you have grip, but launching the car, you don't have much grip at all. And the other thing is, the first 5 gears are all super short, and then 6th gear is just super long. So I mean, the gearing feels a lot different than most cars, and those two things right there, just the grip and the gearing, makes it pretty much not be a race car. So the acceleration is okay, but just considering how many times you have to shift at such lower speeds, I mean, that's why I personally would never race this thing. And it's just so easy to control though. This thing is so fluid, and you can do such long drifts. I mean, it's just so much fun, and the car is just very stable. That's the main thing. Like, it took me a while before I spun out. Now, I did spin out, it's definitely possible, but it really took a lot for me to spin out. Like, I got really, really, really far sideways and was still able to manage control of the car and get it back to going straight again. So this thing's very easy to control. I mean, I didn't really test the braking out too much, but it did what it needed to maintain drifting, and also not to hit things like you saw right there with those traffic cars that kind of got in my way. But I mean, this thing, it's just a ton of fun. The top speed's pretty much irrelevant because, like I said, 6th gear is super long. I think it starts at about 150 miles per hour, and this thing sounds very cool though. It's very unique sounding, and the sounds are awesome though. I mean, when you're in 6th gear going full throttle, and with how low the RPMs are, you hear this really unique squealing or something. It's like a squeaking sound, but it sounds pretty cool actually, and overall I think the car's a lot of fun. Now considering I don't drift a lot, I'm probably really not going to drive it all too much because I generally like to just race, but if you like to drift, I mean, you will absolutely love this car. I was able to do some pretty awesome stuff, and considering my lack of drifting ability, which some people say I'm good, which I guess at times I am, but I'm definitely not consistently good. I mean, I pulled off a lot of good moves and some really nice long drifts, so I was pretty happy with my gameplays that I got with this thing, and it was just a ton of fun driving it though, just drifting around, doing something I don't do too often, and actually being able to do it very well. So this thing's really cool, especially if you love drifting. If you want to try racing it, you're probably going to have to build the thing from scratch because it's really not set up for racing whatsoever, but that's how I feel about the RX-7, the Twerkstallion from the Hoonigan car pack. I'd love to know how everyone else feels about this 1992 Mazda RX-7, but I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the gameplay. As always, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Peace out.